I can't really see what's going on here because it's in the trees. Actually, the Kunkka goes down all by his lonesome, so he stuck around for the tower last hit, but he was all alone and there were still 4 enemy heroes there, and they made quick work of him. So all told, that was a fairly even exchange, although the Scourge did pick off a tower. So just looking at the levels briefly, we see 14, 11, 13, 13, 11 going up against 12, 12, 8, 14, 15. So the Vengeful Spirit's certainly behind. However, the Kunkka is the highest level person in the game. So the levels are fairly even. Mainly just the Vengeful Spirit is lagging. But other than that, although she is lagging, her Kunkka is quite a high level. Although Kunkka, despite his high levels, actually died 5 times. And it's unfortunate when you get a level advantage like Kunkka has now, and if he keeps dying, it can really sort of feed experience to the other team. As a high level hero, it really does give quite a bit of experience when you kick the bucket. So if you are the higher level person, you really need to be cautious not to get yourself killed. Stormsphere is just doing a little bit of farming. The bottom's actually fairly far forward without much help. However, there's only the Puck there right now, so she's probably okay. And the Sven is farming in the woods. La-di-da-di-da. They might be going in for a kill on the Storm Spirit, perhaps. We'll see how it plays out. There's actually a bunch of counter-warding going on, because both teams are looking to control Roshan at this point. Whoever gets Rosh will be a big turning point, and the Storm Spirit zips away from certain death as an arrow comes in, but he dodges the arrow, no problem, no problem. And the Lion is actually, he has his Blink Dagger, and he's over here. I'm not sure if that was an intentional blink or not, however, he gets himself out of there. But so yes, the Lion has finished off his Blink Dagger, and let me check the Puck. The Puck also has his Blink Dagger. The bottom sent herself a Yasha. Remember I said she might have been saying herself something on the Crow, that's what it was. The Storm Spirit has an Ultimate Orb. Now I think he may be, I'm not sure what that is. It could be a Linken's, but BKB has been the more common choice. I think he might go to a BKB next and just keep the Ultimate Orb sort of in his back pocket to make a Sheepstick with a bit later. And so Potom is in a bit of danger from this Puck coming in against her, perhaps because Puck does have a Blink Dagger. We'll see if Puck does some Blink Initiation against her, because she is a bit hyperextended. She does have her allies in here to back her up, however, so I think at this point she's bait, and she has tons of support. And the Puck blinks away from the incoming death. The referees say that it is a fierce game, and I agree, as the kill count is 20 to 23, so that's almost 2 per minute, but not quite. The Witch Doctor dodges an arrow. Oh geez, what's going on up here? Oh no, the Storm Spirit's been X marks a spotted and torrented, and he is surely dead. So the Storm Spirit had been lurking in top woods for quite a while. I guess he felt with his ability to zip away he was quite safe, but he fell down in any event. I need to stop saying that. I apologize for saying in any event entirely too much. Oh, also Sven of all people, Sven with 15 creep stats has managed to farm himself up a Blink Dagger. And Slider also has a Blink Dagger, so we're seeing 3 Blink Daggers on the Sentinel side, and we also saw Potom fall down. I'm not quite sure what she was doing on the other side of the river, but down she goes, as it is very easy to find yourself caught out of position. When you're going up against so many Blink Daggers, additional heroes can just sort of appear from thin air. Oh, I didn't know that Roshan cancels Blink Daggers. You learn something new every day. Roshan cancels Blink Daggers. Actually, Sentinel is trying to Rosh, but I'm not sure they'll finish it off. They're about half done the Rosh kill, but now they've been spot advantage. Oh my goodness, Puck blinks up here. Puck, what are you doing blinking up there? And he's in a lot of trouble. He might zip away. No, he's been stunned at the wrong time and torrented. And Puck has died already. And the Alchemist is in here to stun the Witch Doctor, who's in serious trouble. Sven blinks away, actually. But the Witch Doctor is surely going to die. And oh my goodness, what are Storm Spirit and Slarder doing? This is a poor choice, I think, from Storm Spirit and Slarder to come into this fight after they've already lost 2 of their heroes. I think they should have just given the goose up. But they do kill the Alchemist. However, in return, the Slarder is going to die. And we'll see if maybe this Kunkka can pull anything else out of his boat. He gets stunned by the Slardar, And this Potta might have an arrow on cooldown. Now the Sven blinks away from a torrent that was just would have hit him in a second longer. So that was a favorable exchange for the Scourge, I believe. The puck blinked up here and died quite promptly, and the Witch Doctor went down, and who else? The Slardar and the Alchemist also died. So I think it was 3 for 1. So they did win, and so this is Starsboba ward. So at the moment, Starsboba has the ward site, but I wouldn't be surprised if some counter warding went on, as it is very important at this stage of the game to have vision of this Roshan. And they're quite aware that they've recently plunked down some wards here, so they might invest in the counter wards. We'll see though. Again, this Roshan is a very pivotal thing, I think, in this game for these teams. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another fight over it. Because unless one side, establishes map control somewhere else to get a kill uncontested, there will still be fights over this Roshan. And Vengeful Spirit did indeed counter ward. And if this goes on long enough, we might see some counter wards, as actually the Vengeful Spirit gets quite easily killed by the amazing initiation. And oh my goodness, she was killed, and that resulted in she didn't kill the enemy sentry ward before she died. So her counter ward was actually counter warded by the counter ward that she was trying to counter ward. And if that made no sense at all, it's because it didn't make any sense at all. I apologize. But we see a bunch of Sentinel heroes on the bottom lane. Stormsphere is, again, being very confident in roaming off alone. He is bottling himself up an illusion rune. We have Teal is the Witch Doctor, teleporting to defend top lane, which is almost in deny range. Oh, actually, the Kunkka has finished himself off a Lothars, which I had not noticed before now. Oh, what the heck? Oh shit, I missed that, but Sven actually just killed an enemy courier by blinking up here somehow. I'm not sure what the courier was doing there and what it had on it, but Sven just killed a courier by blinking up here, which is ridiculously baller, and I'm ridiculously sorry that I did not see exactly how ridiculously baller it was, but Sven popped himself a courier kill. Does it even say that on the scoreboard? I don't think I made it up. I mean, I did see that. Let me check the log real quick. Razor Evil's courier has been killed by Orange. That's the Sven. Yeah. So, flying couriers give like 300 gold, and they cost about 400 gold, or 370, I think. So that's a big deal. So, they're repurchasing it, but that's a pretty big blow to your support hero. It's probably a couple sets of wards less if they're going to have the money for. And it's 300 gold to the Sven, who hasn't been farming at all, and he could really use the gold. Actually, I don't think I want much about the Sven. I don't like his items because he has no space for a TP scroll, which is a bit unusual. I almost said in any event, but I stopped myself. Scourge is pushing bottom lane mainly with Kunkka. Kunkka is an absolute beast in team fights. One thing I'll mention about the Sentinel is I don't think Sentinel is as strong in team fights as Scourge, thanks to Kunkka's AoE damage. I mean, and there are other factors too, like the Starfall from the bottom and the Alchemist Acid Spray. But I think the Kunkka is really the king of the AoE damage in this game. And Stormsphere picked up the top tower. I wasn't looking, but he just picked off the top tower, while Scourge took out this bottom tower. So a 1-for-1 tower trade. And I don't think, no. Sentinel or Scourge is not pushing anymore. They've sent 2 people home to defend against this creep wave, and by defending against the creep wave, I mean farm the creep wave, which Kunkka is more than happy to do. Stormsphere has a double damage rune, which he used right away. I guess he wanted the mana, but it can be useful to hold on to those. Oh my goodness, a very baller stun from the Lion to save his life just by an inch. I'm surprised he survived, because keep in mind the Stormsphere was double damage, so if he hadn't pulled off that harass, he surely would have gotten his butt kicked. And he was invisible, but he was also amplify damaged, so he was not actually invisible. He was quite visible. Sentinel is perhaps going in for a fight. They have 4 people up on the hill, and this Puck down below baiting. Puck, who has also purchased a Ghost Scepter, so he is very hard to kill. But the Scourge team is quite present, but it looks like Sentinel is backing off. Backing off for the moment at least, but keep in mind this Roshan is still up. It's 31 minutes into the game. He still has not fallen, and I think we may still see him as sort of a pivot, Roshan is like a magnet for team fights. He's like bait. I mean, sometimes you hear people baiting, the other team, but Roshan sort of baits both teams. He's like, come here, everyone. Come get this Aegis. Oh, you came at the same time, and there was a horrible, vicious battle. That's sad. But I don't think he gloats about it for too long, because usually he dies shortly afterwards. So Kunkka is here to check things out. It doesn't look like he's going to kill. He's just sort of dancing with Roshan. It's the Rosh dance. No, the terror goes off in the acid spray, so Roshan has lost all his armor. And this is going to be a key battle. Let me just check real quick if I can see any other items. I'm seeing some ogre axes. And ooh, Potom has a manta. So Potom has a manta. Keep that in mind. And this keep in mind the ridiculous initiation of the Sentinel. Pretty much anything could happen with their 3 blink daggers. It could go any way about it. This Alchemist, though, has isolated himself from his team. They're sort of baiting, using him as bait. And he's not even a farmed hero this game. He's sort of, he gets his ultimate off just before he's disabled. So he's very tanky, and they are still going. Witch Doctor is trying to kill him. However, Kunkka gets off a nice boat, which looks like it doesn't actually hit anyone, but the buff is more important. The Alchemist has gone down over to the Witch Doctor, and the Sven is in a lot of trouble. He gets fingered by the Lion, and the Storm Spirit is running around with he had his BKB on earlier, but it has since expired. Lion is about to die. Yes, Lion has fallen. The Potom is running away at somewhat low health from the Sven. She pounces away. The Puck has been X-marked spotted, and he will perhaps die in a moment. And what is going on? I don't even know. Potom has returned to the fight, and she's doing some more damage. Ooh, a fantastic Tidebringer slash from Kunkka. It hits a lot of the heroes. And Kunkka's just running riot, and he's escaping at very low life. The Storm Spirit's in quite a bit of trouble. He is swapped, and he's out of mana, so he is quite dead. Kunkka's invisible, and Kunkka gets off the last hit with the final Tidebringer slash. So that was a hugely important fight, and I guess there were several factors contributing to what was the Scourge victory. One was the way it started. Scourge sent in their Alchemist just as sort of a dummy to attract fire, which worked quite well, and they had their team over here. And Sentinel, they were just sort of out of position. If they had all sort of worked together to jump on the Alchemist and then all moved on to the next target, it would have worked okay. But they had a couple heroes go for the Alchemist while the rest of them went in against the enemy team. And they sort of split up. And it did not work out well for them. And they were going up against a Kunkka, despite his boat really not hitting too much of anything. He also had a demon edge for that fight, which I didn't mention until now. But you can just see with with the one Tidebringer slash, he killed an entire creep wave, and that's sort of what he did to their team. He has this Lothar's Edge, which is a very common core item you see in pro games on Kunkka, and the reason is for that 125 backstab damage. When you break your Lothars to attack, you do 125 extra damage, which is great on just about any hero. But for Kunkka, who splashes the entire team, that's 125 damage multiplied by sometimes as much as 5, hitting all 5 enemy heroes. So instead of being 125 extra damage, it's 5 times 125, which is, let me think, 625. So it's like 625 bonus damage that the Lothars can give the Kunkka. In combination, all the damage it gives 38 just vanilla damage constantly. So Kunkka's Tidebringer slashes are very painful. He's actually a very high level now. In the aftermath of this team fight, he's moved up to level 22. And oh my god, he's level 22, and the highest level on the Sentinel is a level 17. So Kunkka is just running riot this game, I think. And he also has picked himself up an Aegis. Or an Aegis. Whichever. So Kunkka is a force to be reckoned with, I think, in this game. But when he upgrades this Demon Edge into presumably a Barisa, or actually he just dropped it and got it back, there it is, a Barisa. So if he gets a crit off, the crits are sort of a chancy, but if he gets a crit with the Tidebringer slash, it will just melt the other team into dust. Storm Spirit zips in for kill on the Potom, who's in a bit of trouble. Storm Spirit's actually popped his BKB, and they're going in on the Potom still. No, she's used her Invis, and she's running away. The Witch Doctor, however, has fallen, but they are getting the Puck as well. The Puck's at ridiculously low health, but he blinks away, being the hard-to-kill bastard the Puck is. But Lion has his Blink Dagger too, I guess. And Puck is in some serious problems. And he's still in trouble. Can Puck escape? We will see. He does have the Ghost Scepter, keep in mind, and his Blink Dagger is, I think, off cooldown. Where'd he go? He went up here, and now he's TPing home, so he should be fine. It looks like this poor person could fall down. The Storm Spirit. Just letting pause though.